Welcome from the deep. I am Mike the Finder.
And I am Book of Bread.
And today we're going to be doing yet another trailer reaction video. Today we're going to be watching the 2024 The Crow trailer.
A movie that I really feel like you just should leave the f alone.
So here is a little heads up on this. Brett's going to be a little pouty pants about this.
Don't do that. The Crow, you can't. I really feel like it's one of those movies you can't remake properly.
Well, we don't know whether you can do that or not yet because we haven't watched the trailer.
Listen, I've seen screenshots of Bill Skarsgård looking like Jared fucking Leto as the Joker.
Yeah.
So you'll forgive me if I'm a little hesitant going into this one.
Oh my stars. Good heavens.
What are you, a Betty Crocker model? Oh my stars. You're like...
Like I said, Brett's gonna be a little pouty pants.
I'm gonna try and go into this open-minded.
No, you're not. You already told me you're already mad about it before we started recording.
I just... That was in confidence.
You liar.
I don't know, man. I just feel like this is one you leave it the f alone. Remake the sequels. They were pretty much all terrible.
Well, you can't remake the sequels if you don't remake the first one first.
Yes, you can.
Here's my thing. I only watched The Crow for the first time like a couple years ago. So I have, I have no nostalgia attached to this movie whatsoever.
Oh, dude, yeah. The Crow is like one of the first like dark movies that I saw that was, you know, somewhat artistic. There was a lot of cinematic value. It's very stylized. And so I don't know, man, something about The Crow to me is there's a very big spot for The Crow in my heart.
All right, well, let's just get into it then. I'm going to hit play on the trailer in 3, 2, 1, play.
What's the first thing you liked about me?
Those are quite brilliant.
You gotta put him in pink. Oh, that was graphic. That was
like my pus.
What's the worst thing you've ever done?
So they're gonna really play up before he loses her.
What was that?
Turned into Maniac all of a sudden.
Please don't do that.
Jesus.
So he doesn't even get thrown out a window now?
What, does he need to get killed in the exact same way? Is that a prerequisite?
When someone dies,
well, no, I guess not, but like there's a whole like artistic whatever.
There's a lot of crows.
so bad happens that the soul cannot rest. Until you put the wrong things right.
I gotta say, I don't like his character design.
No.
Like like you said, he looks like Jared Leto from the Suicide Squad or whatever that movie was.
To save her.
Does he at least put like a, whoa.
I'm gonna kill them. Every single one of them.
I like Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah. Me too.
This looks like a generic rehash.
We have a problem. He came for us.
So now it's all about rich and powerful. It's not about...
Make the Crow, but make him look like he's a SoundCloud rapper.
Yeah.
Anger.
I mean, at least he's still wearing a trench coat.
It's not anger. It's love. Look at what you've become.
This looks like, dude, every action movie that's come out in the last 5 years.
Yeah, this is like every revenge movie that's come out. Yeah. What are those Keanu movies?
You have no idea what hell awaits you.
The color grade looks generic. I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong, it looks good, but it looks generic.
I mean, it looks like the cinematography is really good, at least.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It looks like an aesthetically pleasing generic ass remake.
All right. Well, I mean, that's a thing. That's a thing that happened. It just looks like every other movie we've gotten in the last 5-10 years that has to do with any kind of love revenge. Like, it doesn't look like it's offering anything different or new, which I guess if we're making a remake anyway, I guess that's not the point. But
the first one is very unique. It's got a very
true.
specific style. Everything in the film lends itself to the situation going on. There's a rawness and a grittiness about the first one that this one does not seem to have at all. Now, granted, we're going off a trailer.
Yeah.
I am going to go see this. From judging from this trailer, this is everything I was worried about, where yet again, I hate that we have to keep saying it, but we're going to have to keep saying it as long as Hollywood keeps doing it. We're getting the same shit over and over again. It's a money grab. We're capitalizing on an IP. Not only are we not adding anything new to the original, because there's not really anything you can improve on with the original, in my opinion.
you can make it a little less Sting the wrestler, which is what they did.
I guarantee you, nobody that loves The Crow that is a fan of the original, this is not for them. Fallout was fan service. You could tell they gave a shit about who they were advertising to, who they are making it for. And I understand they're completely different, but it's the last trailer that we did. This is very clearly not about the fans of the movie. It is, which tells me it's not about making a faithful Crow movie. It's about taking something and just kind of redoing it because it's been over 20 years.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is definitely clearly for Gen Z. It doesn't seem to be aimed at us. The coloring book tattoos, the ironic cross earring, like all of it just seems to be not aimed at us whatsoever, which is fine. But it does make me question, like, does Gen Z even know what the Crow is? And if they do they actually give a shit? Because like most of those kids were really young, if not even born yet when that movie came out. It makes me wonder who exactly this is for. It just seems like, why remake this? That's my question. What's the point?
I think the problem is the movies that Gen Zers are most having shoved down their throats now are vapid and empty shells of a film that look good. And that's why I think we're getting this. It's not about what The Crow was originally about. This is about it looking good, it popping, it being action-packed. The original Crow did have a lot of action sequences, but so much time was spent really showing what everyone was going through, really getting us into Eric's head. And this, to me, feels like we're going to get a lot of that through exposition.
To be fair, though, let's just say this is a trailer and they're not going to put all of that stuff in the trailer. It's not going to make people want to see the movie if you just show him crying in the rain for 3 minutes.
I would watch that.
I know you would, because you're an ex-emo little techno goth kid. But here's here's the thing. I saw this.
This isn't about me.
I saw this yesterday. Millennials and Gen Z want original movies and TV, not remakes. New streaming service or survey says. So,
good.
I mean,
good for them. Good for them.
I think at a point where these companies are starting to figure out that remaking stuff is not necessarily the way to go. And like this article points out, Barbie, Oppenheimer, Sound of Freedom, like we could just keep going. All of these are original ideas. Sure, Barbie is an IP from somewhere else, but it is an original idea for the movie. Right. All of these, like Killers of the Flower Moon, all of these things are doing well because they are new original concepts. And what I hope is our generation is actually fucking tired of seeing stuff that we've already fucking seen before. Gen Z doesn't give a shit about any of the stuff that came before them. That's not a slight. That is just what I have observed. And so it just feels like maybe let's start letting people make new things.
I don't think studios give a fuck about what people want because people keep going and seeing these shit-stained excuses for films. And if you want to stop seeing this kind of shit made and released, stop going to the theaters and watching them. Keep going to the theaters. For God's sake, please keep going to the theaters, but go watch the movies that are original. Go watch the movies that aren't rehashes and remakes and sequels and superhero pieces of shit. This is not the first time I've seen something about people saying, oh, Gen Zers and millennials want original movies. This is not the first time I've seen that. And yet box office sales still say something different.
Well, I mean, let's talk about Dune. Like, Dune is a great example of something that's both a remake and taking IP from a book. And it is...
Most movies are that, though.
They're incredible, yeah, but it's also
The Crow is a graphic novel.
But it's also a movie from before. So
sure.
My point is like you can do it in a way that is actually well done and well made, but it's so few and far between. Most of the time, they just shit these things out. And I just looked it up.
Right.
This Crow movie has a $50 million budget, which is way lower than I thought it would be, to be fair.
Yeah.
It just feels like, I don't know, you could have made 2 really, really good movies for $50 million.
Or take the concept and make something original out of it.
Right.
If you're going to make a revenge movie, and there are plenty of those out there, make something original out of it. This just feels lazy. It feels, honestly, I can't think of a less necessary remake in recent history.
As somebody who has no attachment to this movie whatsoever, honestly, it doesn't look that bad. If you go into this with an open mind and not thinking about the original, it may be okay. I really don't know. It just seems a little too sterile and like paint by numbers revenge action movie to me, but maybe I'm wrong. And I just can't shit on it too hard for simply being a remake because I just don't have any attachment to it whatsoever. Maybe if I did, I would feel the same way, but I just don't.
I think this is one of those good examples of why you should watch the trailer before going into some movies, because now that I know what I'm going into, I think I'll be able to go into the movie itself with a bit more of an open mind than I went into this trailer.
Right.
I do want it to be good, but dude, this just looks like John Wick in The Crow.
I mean, I see what you're saying, but as somebody who has no stake in this whatsoever, I'm down for it. I'm not going into this with super high hopes, and I'm going to try to go into it as open-minded as possible. I kind of don't care if it's like the original movie or not. I really just don't, and I think that most people are going to feel that way, and the people that really love The Crow are going to be super outspoken about it, but 99.9% of the population are not going to give a shit that this is a remake, and they'll just be like, hey, Bill Skarsgård with his shirt off, I'm going to go see that.
Right.
All right. Well, please, for the love of God, let us know what you're thinking about this down in the comments, because this is going to be super fucking divisive on the internet. In real life, no one is going to care. But on the internet, all of these people who've never talked about The Crow are going to come out of the fucking woodwork and be like, no, you can't do this, or this looks shitty, or like, I mean, for God's sake, bro, just look at the poster. Just look at the poster. I mean,
he looks like Pennywise.
He does. He looks like Pennywise, and that's even in Barbarian, they make that joke of like, I'm not a monster. And in the theater that I saw it in, everyone laughed because everyone thinks of Pennywise when they see his face. So let us know what you thought down in the comments. Thank you for watching. If you like this, make sure you hit the like button. If you really liked it, make sure you hit the subscribe button because we got a lot more content like this on the channel. If you're looking for some other trailer reviews, we've posted a couple the last few weeks. Thank you for all the love that the Fallout trailer has been getting. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time from the deep. Bye-bye.
Ta-ta.